Welcome! In this series of short videos, we will look at topics common to both the PowerBasic console and Windows compilers. Today, we will look at an introduction to playing sounds from within your application. Today, we're going to look at playing sounds from within your application, specifically WAV files. We have here three WAV files which ship with PowerBasic itself: fanfare, hit, and mist. You may wish to use sounds within your application for a number of reasons. You may wish to alert the user of the application that something has gone wrong, or that something has completed which has taken a long time. Or you may be writing an application which is a game, and sound is an integral part of the application. So today we're going to do an introductory look at how you can generate these sounds from inside your application. Now, as we have these three WAV files in the same folder as our application, we're just going to call them from there initially by using the play wave command. A simple use of the play wave and the name of the file to load, and if we run our application now, the file will be executed. Normally on the play wave command, if you've given no other options, the sound will be generated and the application will move on straight away. So your code will be running while the WAV file is actually being executed. So the sound is being played asynchronously, in parallel with your application. You may, however, wish to actually stop your application running while the sound plays, and then continue your application after the sound is completed. This can be done by using one of the optional commands called sync. Now if we do this, and we'll put something out to our log, the word completed appears after the sound has actually finished. If we didn't use sync, the completed comes up before the sound is actually finished. Depending on your requirements, you may wish the sound to continue while the application runs, or you may wish the application to pause while the sound plays. Now that's loading a file up from the disk of your computer. You may wish to actually embed your WAV files within the application itself, in which case we can use the resource command. So we'll comment this particular WAV file out for the moment, and we'll put another one in. Using the resource command, we can embed this mist WAV file within the application itself. And we can call it just the same way. Now that was a very short WAV file. What we can do is we can use another one of the optional command words called loop. And what we'll do here is we will do a loop, which means the WAV file will be continually looped until something tells the WAV file to stop playing. So let's get the application to simulate some code. So we'll basically sleep for 2 seconds, so it won't go into the next line for 2 seconds. And then we'll use the play wave end command to tell the application to stop playing the WAV file. So you can quite happily loop either a short or a long WAV file as long as you need using that technique. One of the other commands you can actually do, if we put our play wave for the fanfare one back in again, now if we give the command like that, it would attempt to start playing this WAV file and then immediately would go on to try playing this one. So if we tried playing that, you wouldn't hear the first sound at all, because as soon as it started playing, the code would go on to the next line of code and it would play the second one. However, if you wish to do a pause, you can use no stop. If we run that one, you can hear one beat from the first one before the second one kicks in. So the second file basically waits for the first one to finish before it commences. Again, it depends what you want your WAV files to actually do. You can of course make use of WAV files which ship with Windows. So if we add one or two of them on, So you'll see how easy it is to actually either embed your WAV files within the application itself, in which case they don't have to ship with your exe, or to have them outside your exe and called from within the application itself. So we've covered the no stop, which basically tells the WAV file we're trying to execute not to stop any WAV file that's currently running. We've used the sync command to actually ensure that the sound plays in synchronous mode. In other words, it will finish playing the sound before going on to your next level of code. There is one other command, which is the yield milliseconds command. If another sound is actually playing, the new sound yields and allows the first sound to complete. It has an optional parameter allowing you to wait a certain number of milliseconds to wait before giving up. So if the first sound is actually playing, you can wait that number of milliseconds before your second one will actually give up attempting to play. So if we tried that with this one, and put a similar number of milliseconds in, say 200, the fanfare would not play because the ring 06 wave file is actually longer than 200 milliseconds. If we increase that, so if we set the number of milliseconds to wait to be, say, 5 seconds, that should give the ring 06 wave file time to complete, and we should actually now hear the fanfare. And there it is. The other option you can have is there is a to parameter which you can actually test. So let's comment these ones out for the moment. And we will put our fanfare one back in again. And we will put the to command in. And we'll send it to a new variable called long result. Now you can actually test the value of long result, which will tell you whether it actually managed to play this sound or not. So if we did this and look for a file that we know does not exist, and we run this now, we can quite happily pick up in code the fact that that did not execute because the file does not exist. If the WAV file is embedded within the executable, then the chances of it being missing are minimal. However, if the files are external or are in some way generated by something else in your application, so you can either test whether the WAV file exists before you attempt to execute the play wave command, or you can actually call the play wave command, send the result to a variable, and test that result to see whether the file successfully played or not. So this is a short introduction to the options of actually playing WAV files from within your application. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.